Thank you. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Beagle.
Present.
Deputy Mayor Resnick.
Present.
Councilmember Merriman.
Present.
Councilmember Batchel is excused. Councilmember Brown Fox. Here. Councilmember Sharp.
Present.
I'm sorry, Councilmember O'Day. Agenda is wrong.
Yes,
Did you guys notice that?
I just did.
did.
Okay, well,
Oh.
that's why there was a little pause for a minute. But everyone is here.
All right. Changes or additions to the agenda as presented tonight. City Manager?
I have no changes, sir.
Assistant City Manager?
I have none, sir.
Any from the dais? All right, very good. Moving on to approval of minutes. We've got two sets of minutes to approve tonight. The first one is the regular city council meeting of November 18th, 2025. Do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Support.
Any discussion? Seeing none, I got a motion and a second to approve the regular city council meeting minutes from November 18th, 2025. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The next set of minutes will be the regular city council meeting from November 25th, 2025. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion? Seeing none, I got a motion and a second to approve the regular city council meeting minutes from November 25th, 2025. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have no correspondence tonight, so we'll move on to city manager's report. The first report is the fire report from October 2025. Any questions for the chief? Wow. Next up is the police report from October 2025. Any for Chief Langmeyer?
No, not a question, just a comment.
Councilmember Sharp.
I was just looking at the numbers, 25 to 24, all calls for service down by like 33%, I'd say, about on the year for the month of October. Any thoughts on, is warmer out or something, or colder out, or people, it's just amazing.
Well, I think the drop in the numbers is coming from those miscellaneous calls for service, and that's just, we're not getting as many calls from the residents for things, those minor things that are out there, things like the lockouts. We are down a couple people right now, so there's not as many traffic stops which are included in there. That's all those miscellaneous minor things that we take care of, and those are the ones that are really down. Overall, crime is down across the board, which is a good thing, but the big drop comes from that neighborhood right there.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? All right. Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Next up is consent agenda. All items listed under the consent agenda are considered routine by the city council and will be enacted by one motion. There'll be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which event the items will be removed from the consent agenda and added to the regular agenda at the end of unfinished or new business. Do I have a motion?
Support.
Okay, got a motion and support to approve the consent agenda as presented tonight. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item up is the call to the public. I'm not going to read the rules to call to the public because we have no public here tonight. We have no unfinished business, so we'll move on to new business number one, and that's a recommendation to approve a 3-year quote for annual downtown flower installation and maintenance with Eckert's Greenhouse of Sterling Heights, Michigan, and Worry-Free Outdoor Services of Royal Oak, Michigan, for fiscal year 2026-2027 for the amount of $45,271.50. Fiscal year 2027-28 for the amount of $42,271.50, and fiscal year 2028-2029 for the amount of $46,516.50 from Downtown Flowers account number 248-729-956.016. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Support.
All right, before we get into any discussion, though, just for transparency, I do know the owner of Worry-Free Outdoor Services. I referee with them. I don't see him all that often, maybe once or twice a year, but just to be transparent, I'm putting that out there. With that, we'll go to Assistant City Manager Benson.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, members of City Council. You all are likely familiar with the hanging baskets that we do on the light poles in the downtown district. We've been doing them for a few years. This past year, in 2025, We did work with a different firm than we have historically, the combination of Eckert's Greenhouse for the flower baskets and then Worry-Free Outdoor Services for the routine maintenance of those flower baskets. The 1-year trial basis to see if we like them. The price was lower than our previous vendor who used to do both pieces. The DDA board and staff thought that this combination of service providers did a very nice job, and we were generally very pleased with their service this year. And so the recommendation before you tonight is a 3-year quote or agreement to continue that relationship with these two firms. Same number of baskets, same maintenance schedule, all of these things. That's the scope of work is listed in the agenda item. The DDA board did consider this request at their last meeting in November, and they unanimously recommended approval to City Council. If there are any additional questions about the service or the service providers, I'd be happy to try and answer them.
Councilmember Behrman?
I would just say that flowers were much better this last year than they've ever been, and I'm glad to see that we're sticking with them for the next several years.
Deputy Mayor Resnick?
Just comment, it's great to see that they kept the price the same for those first 2 years of the contract. That was very generous as well.
Councilmember Sharp?
Do we know what color the flowers are going to be?
Those have not been decided yet.
And you're not going to get to
Not red and white.
That's why I wanted to do it now. Gotta know now.
I still don't know if scarlet and gray is an option, but
No, those are the Christmas trees in the DDA.
No, I was just going to say I support this. I agree with Councilmember Bierman, the best looking flowers we've had in this program. And I've said this to Director Cloutier, I'm hoping we can figure out some placement revisions going forward where we really make an impact. And sometimes I feel like the flowers are just haphazardly spread. Although there's a light pole, we got to put one over here. Or there's a light pole, let's put one over in this section. I feel like we really, if we could kind of concentrate them down at Wixom and Pontiac Trail area, it just feels like it would make more of an impact and be more wow factor rather than just say that's a nice looking set of flowers. It's a nice looking downtown, the whole thing. So that's just my only comment, but I definitely support it. The guys, they did a great job. Best looking ones yet. Thank you.
Yeah, I received a bunch of compliments too on the flowers this year, so I'm happy that we're sticking with the two businesses that we're dealing with, and it's going to be a long-term relationship. So with that, I got a motion and a second to approve the recommendation to approve a 3-year quote for annual downtown flower installation excuse me, and maintenance with Eckert's Greenhouse of Sterling Heights, Michigan, and Worry-Free Outdoor Services of Royal Oak, Michigan for fiscal year 2026-2027 for the amount of $45,271.50. Fiscal year 2027-2028 for the amount of $42,271.50, and for fiscal year 2028-2029 for the amount of $46,516.50 from Downtown Flowers, account number 248-729-956.016. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Excuse me. New business number 2 is a request for approval of the 2026 proposed operating budget for the Michigan Airline Trailway Management Council. A motion?
Support.
All right. A motion and a second. City Manager Brown?
Yeah, it's relatively routine, but I didn't want to put everything on consent, so that's my admission on this. So it's the annual budget for the Michigan Airline Trail. Dollar amount revenue is $106,000 and change. Expenses is about $67,000 and change. That leaves a contribution to fund balance, and you'll see on the attachment that the contribution to fund balance is just under $40,000, and the previous set aside was about $85,000. That leaves us with about $125,000 of excess funds available for maintenance and other purposes such as that. The usual stuff is in there in terms of costs for insurance and costs for the trail manager. We did include an annual adjustment for the trail manager as opposed to the way it's been handled in the past. So that's about the only tweak to the budget this year. Nothing else that I was going to highlight. We're looking for approval to that so that we can proceed with the Trailway Council vote tomorrow.
Councilmember Brown Fox?
Thank you. Could you explain for me or anyone that might be watching how how this is split up between the different communities? Or not this, I know this is our portion, but as far as the whole expenditure for the maintenance of the trail?
Yeah, the budget handles the day-to-day stuff, the tax, or the insurance, the fees for the management from the trailway manager. And then maintenance is intended to be on the individual communities. That's something that just came up actually, and we looked at that and whether we were going to change that MO. We decided not to. So maintenance is done on an as-needed basis, and it depends on where it's at within the community. So if it's a problem in Wixom, as we currently have an issue with some pavement failure just to the west of Center Boulevard there, that's going to be on our dime. So that's how that gets handled.
Now, didn't this change, or maybe I'm confusing it with something else, but when Walled Lake went out, didn't it change how that was all figured for the other communities?
I don't recall there was any change to the funding or how the individual costs are handled. We're, believe it or not, still dealing with the approval of the actual change in the interlocal agreement. That continues to drag on, much to my dismay at this point. But we're close to a solution on that and about to get it taken care of. I think it's pretty much handled now.
Okay, so.
But no, I don't recall anything that was impacted in terms of change in MO by them getting out, other than the maintenance of the section in Walled Lake. But again, that would have been on Walled Lake anyway.
Right, so if they come back in, it will have no effect on
Correct.
our expenditures for that?
Right.
Okay.
That's something that, with what's happened in elections, maybe that's something.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Deputy Mayor Resnick.
That was one of my questions. Have any discussions been initiated to see if there's at least a lukewarm interest?
Yeah, I'll bring it up again at the Trailway Council meeting, which is scheduled for tomorrow. There was some discussion of it, but no decision as to whether to basically go out and solicit that or not. So I'll bring it up for discussion tomorrow and see if we want to proceed with that.
And on the revenue line, the billboard revenues, that billboard that's over by M5, is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
And that's, okay, all right, that's that one. And the forward fund is separately accounted for as a
That's
line
correct.
item? And that's going to be pulled aside for 20 years down the line?
Correct, right.
All right, very good.
All right, see no further discussion. I've got a motion and a second to approve the request for approval of the 2026 proposed operating budget for the Michigan Airline Trailway Management Council. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. I will not read the rules to the second call to the public, as still we have no public here tonight, so we'll move on to City Manager's comments. City Manager Brown.
Yes, so the only thing that I have in the city manager update for this council meeting is in relation to the billboard contract that the Downtown Development Authority has entered into. We have had one billboard that has been up since the inception of the program. We are looking for the next one to go up in mid-December to late December, depending on the timing of this kind of approval. The new billboard is going to be focusing on the Wednesdays in Wixom promotion, which is kind of one of the things that I thought would have been one of the best beneficiaries of that, to see if we have an impact on the program or not. So I'm looking forward to that, seeing how that turns out. We've looked at different design alternatives, trying to incorporate some of the feedback that we had from council and others about the readability of the billboard, the first one out of the box, if you will. So this one is going to be more simple in its design and content, and it's going to be focused on Wednesdays in Wixom. So looking forward to seeing that and seeing what kind of an impact we can have on that program, which I think is something that can grow. So just a FYI on that.
Very good. Assistant City Manager Benson, anything?
Yeah, just one note. You may have seen either in the news on Friday or earlier today, there was an announcement the Michigan Strategic Fund did approve a business development grant for Teradyne, I want to get this right, Teradyne Robotics Group. They've announced that they plan to locate here in the city of Wixom. They'll be taking over an existing facility, former manufacturing facility, so it really appears to be a very good fit for us. 230 new jobs and a $32 million investment into that facility. So you should see more or hear more as they get kind of closer on their internal build out, but just an exciting kind of piece of news, and we're thrilled that the state would help support that and that they chose Wixom. And that's all I have for them.
Wixom's a happening spot these days, man. 2 big announcements. Madam Clerk, anything tonight?
No.
Okay. We'll move on to council comments. Councilmember Behrman.
I'd just say the Christmas tree lighting was a nice event, and following the same trend of Christmas lights, the trees at Wixom and Wixom, they need some work. There's some of them that are not on. So, that's it.
Councilmember Sharp, I've got this thing around my neck and it's choking me.
I was going to say.
I know probably, I told Crystal it's probably a little too soon for something like that with me, but
I'm not saying
Thank you, Mayor. I wanted to comment on a couple things. One, the luncheon that Steve Brown and his team put on for the city staff and on December 3rd was a wonderful event. I couldn't believe how many people were here. It's biggest in my 6 years, I know that. So really well attended and everybody was having a good time. What a great team we have here. Also, the Christmas tree lighting was a great event. Santa made it on time this year. The tree worked. And St. John Smith, that band is really good, and I'm hoping we'll get them again in the summertime. I think they played last summer here. And I just wanted to comment how good the mayor looks in red. Thank you.
Councilmember Golden Fox.
Well, not to be a broken record, but I too would like to just say how nice the tree lighting was. So thank you to Parks and DPW, Police and Fire, anyone else that had played a part in that. It was a great event. Thank you.
Councilmember O'Day.
Thank you. Again, just following in suit that everything was so nice at the tree lighting, seeing all the families with younger kids. It's part of what makes our city so great, so I'm glad we could do that. And then just a shout out to the chief and his team for the squad car, making probably a lot of kids very happy this Christmas, so that's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
Deputy Mayor Resnick.
Thank you, Mayor. I also want to say the lunch, Steve, was great. It was really good to be able to meet some of the new people, like our new assessors. I sat with them and chatted quite a bit, and get to meet the engineering groups and everything else. So, great event. Tree lighting, had a blast, and the whole family again, including all my crazy grandchildren running around. We had a blast. Also had a chance to pop into Let's Brunch on Friday. It was nice that they stayed open. I think it's going to be a hit. I mean, we just had soup, and they were wonderful. And then I talked to a lot of different families on Sunday that had gone in. And a lot of high marks for quality of the food and the service over there. So I think we've got a hit. Looking forward to Mila's deli opening soon, too. That's it.
Very good. And I want to thank Parks and Rec, excuse me, and DPW, Police and Fire for another successful tree lighting. It was great to see, even with the weather the way it was, there's a lot of people out there, a lot of kids. And a special thanks to the police department for making sure Santa got out of here so he can get up, finish his last minute chores before he comes back and visits all the boys and girls in Wixom. Steve, thank you again for the lunch that you hosted. It was fun, good time, and it's nice to see everybody who, like all our employees and all the other departments that we deal with, we get together and everybody's having a good time, and that's what it's all about. So thank you. And again, and then to Chief Langmeyer, another successful squad, stuffed the squad car. We got a little shout out on TV about it, so very good. And then Breakfast with Santa is this Saturday. Is it full? Can they still register if they need to?
Registration is passed, but
Okay.
we never turn anybody.
Okay, so yeah, that's always a fun event, and I'm honored that they let me serve ham and pancakes and stuff like that. So, and then the last thing I want to mention is the hospitality house donation that we've been running for the past few weeks. Yesterday was the last day for it, and in total, the great citizens of Wixom and everybody else who did it, they donated 1,603 pounds of food and supplies, health supplies and stuff like that. So that's pretty awesome that, you know, we're in a need for things like this to happen, because there are, you know, families that are struggling out there, and it's pretty awesome what everybody did. And I want to give a shout out to Michigan Community Insurance Agency, Drafting Table, Spray Chick Airbrush Tanning, Wixom Liquor, Backyard Coney, and Wixom City Hall. We all had bins here that people could donate and drop off their food. So thank you to everybody who did that. And with that, do I have a motion to adjourn?
We'll move.
Or-
All those in favor?